Okay, so with this design, each letter has been imported separately. Um, and I can tell just because each letter is its own piece and it's locked. And whenever I select the letter, with it selected, you can see it, my stitch type right down here that says nothing. And that typically tells me that it's an imported letter, which is no problem. So I'm going to right click off to the side to deselect it. But now if I look at each letter, this is good. It's already been ungrouped. Each letter was brought in separately. With each letter ungrouped, it allows me to do some really nice things with editing as far as layout goes. So we want to take these letters and arc them. Well, first of all, what I want to do is select all these letters with a left click, hold, and drag. Make sure I encompass the whole area and not like this, because if I do that, let go, nothing's selected. So I do have to make sure that I'm selecting all the letters. And you can see each letter has a little bounding box around it, and then a bounding box around the whole thing. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure these letters are in line with each other or aligned properly, so that when I do a arced baseline, it is going to be, the letters are going to be in line with each other. So here, with the letters, with them selected, I'm just going to go ahead and click here on Align Bottom, left click. I can also get to that tool just by going to Edit, Align and Distribute, and then I have Align Bottom. So it's going to take all these bounding boxes and line them up with the bottom part of that bounding box. Now the next thing I want to do is align them on a baseline like I would with lettering. So if you look in my lettering box, I do have that option of the text path, and this is kind of like the same thing but with objects. Now granted, these objects are letters, but you can do this with anything that has a bounding box around it. And because each letter has a bounding box around it, it's going to act like its own piece, which is what I want. So with them all selected, I am going to go up to View, Align and Distribute, and then Super Align Tool. Now I do have that tool down at the bottom here with this T, so I can left click on either one. I'm just going to left click on the one at the bottom. And with the Align path, I can choose if I want an arc, an ellipse, a freehand, or an existing outline. I'm just going to choose an arc, and I'm going to put it above the line. And this, again, is like my lettering. So with it above the line, all these bounding boxes, or the objects in the bounding boxes, are going to be above that baseline. I'll go ahead and press OK. So now you can see that it looks like, lettering would be, but again, it's imported. Each letter looks like it was imported. So to draw my arc, I'm going to start on the left-hand side, make a left click for the start point. If I don't like it, I can always hit backspace and go back one at a time. I'm going to make another left click for my end point. So I've created my line, and now I move my mouse to bow that arc up or down. So depending upon where you want that arc to lay, once I'm happy with it, I left click. Just before I do that, though, I'm just going to give you a hint that usually you want to be in the center of the line to do your arc. It's a lot easier to move than being on the end of it. You can see it's quite a big jump when I move my mouse. So it's a little bit easier to come in the middle. You have a lot more room to kind of work with. Once I'm happy with the arc, I'll go ahead and left click, and it'll give me a warning saying, do you want to apply this to the locked objects? And I say yes. Once I do that, it'll put that onto an arc. I do have the same tools. The tools that I probably want to use in this are the diamonds, as well as this arrow and this arrow. I don't really want to resize anything because it is a pre-digitized. So I can take that out, if I need to move that out. Anytime that I make a change, it is going to ask me if I really want to do this. Because it's locked, I'll just say yes. So you can see you can move things around. You can even reset your line if you'd like, just by hitting the edit button. Change it from current arc to arc again, press OK, and then I can redraw the arc if I'd like to. Maybe I didn't like that arc so much. So let's go ahead and redraw the arc. Left click, press OK, and I'm going to change it just a little bit. Yes, okay. Now if I want to make sure everything's centered with each other, I do have to make sure that the letters on the bottom are all grouped, because if I take everything right now, big left click, hold, and drag around the whole thing, and then I click Align Vertical Center, you're going to see that all the red letters will go on top of each other because it's going to align each bounding box center vertically, which doesn't look very good. So I'm going to hit the undo button. And I'm going to take Matt Butler. I left click, hold, and drag. Just to deselect, you left click off to the side. But I left click, hold, and drag, get all those little bounding boxes, and then we can go down here to the group ungroup button, or we can go to edit and then group ungroup. Same thing. So now this is one group, one bounding box. I'm going to left click, hold, and drag over everything. I've got two boxes that are selected in a big bounding box around the whole thing, and then I can go to Align Vertical Center. When I do that, everything's centered with each other. You can still, group and ungroup if you'd like, or you still have those options to change the lettering with these different tools. I hope this has helped, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.